Hey guys, it's me Aura and welcome to my YouTube channel. For those who don't know me, I am Aura and I worked 6 years as cabin crew in Emirates Airlines. And today I'm going to be talking about the ugly truth of the cabin crew job. If you're someone who is wanting to join the cabin crew field in the future, and especially you want to join one of these Middle Eastern airlines, then this video is for you. I might not be able to talk about everything in one video because there's a lot. There is a lot of things that I need to tell you guys, but stick with it. And at the very end of this video or this series, I will tell you my biggest piece of advice, my best advice to anybody who's hoping to join the cabin crew field. So definitely, if that's your dream, stick with this video. But first, I need to give a huge thank you to everybody that supported my last video. I received so many heartwarming messages, both personally and in the comments in that video. So thank you to all of you. A lot of you did express that you wish that Emirates would call me back and that I will get a chance to rejoin. But here's the thing. I don't wish to go back to Emirates, and I don't wish to become cabin crew at Emirates, and I'm not sad anymore. I was sad for a long time, but I'm not sad anymore. I'm in a new path. I am actually at a very happy place. I'm fine. And frankly, guys, do you really think that Emirates will want to hire me back after making a video like that? No, they're not. It's Emirates. They're very particular about their public image. They will never hire me back after I made a video like that. But still, there are some colleagues of mine that still have some hope of returning back to Emirates. The events of the 2020 redundancies and also the rehiring process was unfair. It was very unfair, especially for such a gigantic, big, reputable company as Emirates. It was disappointing, unacceptable. And that's why we should talk about it. Let's talk about it. I wanted to take all those unheard voices and try and make something impactful and emotional. You know, something artistic. You guys might have to watch that video to get a little bit of context for the things that I'm saying in this video. So, yeah, maybe go watch that, okay? Go watch it. To be honest, I don't even know if I want to be cabin crew at all anymore. And that is because in the last 2 years since I left Emirates, or Emirates left me, there's a lot of ugly truths that I learned and realized about this field. And that's what I want to discuss with you today here in this video, the ugly truth about the cabin crew job. So, let's get started. The ugly truth about the cabin crew job. So, a lot of you guys have been telling me, why aren't you applying to other airlines? Why are you just waiting on Emirates? There's so many other airlines out there. Why aren't you applying to them? Well, the truth is, I have applied to a lot of airlines out there. I have applied just to be rejected. There are some reasons why you constantly get rejected, even with the 6 years of cabin crew experience, even with the experience of the prestigious Emirates Airlines. There are still some reasons why you get rejected. And the first one of that is age. Once you hit 30, your chances of becoming a cabin crew drastically decreases. like drastically decreases. Especially in the Middle Eastern and Asian airlines, it dramatically decreases your chances if you are above 30. Now, I've tried a lot of airlines, Gulf Air, Oman Air, Etihad, Qatar, so many other airlines I can't really remember right now. Some airlines, they are pretty straightforward about their age limits. They will put it right there in their websites about what age limit are they looking for. And then there's some of them, like especially the major three in the Middle East, Emirates, Etihad, and Qatar, don't say this. However, they do have an age limit. There's an unspoken, unofficial age limit. For Emirates, it's going to be about 31, 32. They just don't hire above that. They just don't. It doesn't matter how young you look. It does not matter how young you look. They will start rejecting you if you're about over 31, 32. 32 is the maximum, I would say. And Etihad used to be so good. Etihad used to not have a cutoff mark. It used to take people from 35, 38, but after the pandemic, they changed their rules or whatever. They said, okay, we're going to take younger people, and they drastically, decreased their age limit to 30. It's not written anywhere in their website. It's not written anywhere, but in some of the open days that were held in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, they just frankly said, if you're about 30, we're not even going to take your CV. So a lot of people who spend the whole day trying to give their CVs just went home. This is legit. This is true. The only one of those major airlines that actually do consider and are actually nice to consider people above 30 as human beings is Qatar. And props to Qatar, they actually tried to recall most of their ex-crew back that they fired during the pandemic. And they do hire people above 30. They hire people of 35, 36, 37, even 38. I have heard of some rare cases of people joining when they are 38 years of age. Could you be quiet? No, they can't. So Qatar at least gives you a chance, okay? And I did apply to Qatar, and I missed their open day because I wanted to go to USA. And guess what? They're done hiring, so there's no more vacancies now. Yeah. But there's also Fly Dubai, which is a low-cost airline in the Middle East. They don't care about age either. They will even hire you at 40, 41, 42, I think, even if you don't have cabin crew experience. But then again, Fly Dubai is a tiny company. They only have a tiny amount of vacancies. And they do prefer to take you if you're already in Dubai. They hardly take anybody from outstations. Hardly. So yeah, that's a bit of a disadvantage. Now, if you're from Europe or South America or North America or Australia, there's not much age restrictions for the cabin crew in those countries. But if you come to Asia and the Middle East, yeah, there's a lot of age restrictions. Asia and Middle East are kind of particular about how their cabin crew look. They do like the younger and fresher image. That's what they want to give to their customers. Look, I'm not blaming them or anything. That's what they want to do. But life doesn't end at 30. Give them people another chance. Look at my local airline here in Sri Lanka. We only have one big airline, one national airline, and the cutoff mark for that is 20 to 25. The maximum age to join is 25. They really want to uphold that young and fresh image to everyone. And God forbid you get fired or quit your job for some reason. There's a chance that you might not actually be able to become cabin crew ever again. Another thing that you guys tell me is, okay, so Asia and Middle East has an age limit. Why don't you try European Airlines? Why don't you try somewhere else, some other region? Well, okay, yes, especially European Airlines, they don't have an age restriction. So yes, I would love to go and work for British Airways or something other. But unfortunately, this is a field where your age matters. This is also a field where your passport matters. And that brings us to point 2. Passport and visa issues. So I would love to go to Europe and work in a European airline, but many of them actually require you to have a European passport to be eligible to work in that airline. If not a European passport, you at least have to have a European work visa or a work visa of that particular country. And here's the thing. It's not that easy to get a work visa. If you're from a country like me, if you're from a country like mine, you know that they will not issue you a work visa if you don't have a valid job offer. And the airline isn't going to give you a valid job or offer you the job or give you the job offer if you don't have a visa. So it's like a cycle, you know? They're not going to give you a job unless you have a visa. They're not going to give you the visa unless you have a job. It's a cycle. It's a vicious cycle. So that is why you can't actually go and work for European airlines. Middle Eastern airlines, when they hire you, they will provide you visas. One of the reasons is because they want to uphold their multicultural image, so they want people from all over the world to come join. The other reason is, if you take, for example, the UAE, the larger population of the UAE are expats. They don't have enough locals to actually work in their airlines. That is why they try to get people from outside the country to come join. And in doing so, they have to provide you visas. But whereas if you're in Europe, there's plenty of people in Europe to work in a European airline, okay? They don't have to go out of their way making a visa for you just so you from Asia can come and do a job in Europe. There are plenty of people. They're not going to bother making you visas. Okay, reason number 4. Reason number 4 is not a reason why you can't be hired, but this is a reason why I don't really want to go back to being cabin crew or being in this field. And that is because this field is so risky. The cabin crew job is so risky. It is not a stable job. There is no job security. Guys, you can get fired for the slightest, most dumbest reason, okay? You can get fired for something that's not your fault. There are so many instances where one of your colleagues on that flight did something. One or two of your colleagues did something on that flight, on a layover somewhere, I don't know. There's particular destinations of these things happening. So one or two did something dumb, misbehaved on a layover, on a beach somewhere, something major, okay? And the punishment will go to the entire set of crew on that flight. It's not fair, but this is how it happens. So that's why you can get fired for something that's not even your fault. I mean, the pandemic, that's nobody's fault. But you could get fired. It was easy. And they didn't even hire people back. You can get fired for a complaint, a VIP customer or a high-valued customer complaint. Let me tell you a story. This is a story that a manager herself said. She fired a FG1, a first-class cabin crew for not knowing the name of a yogurt. A first-class cabin crew means you need to at least have been working 10 years in the airline. She had some VIP customer. Turns out he is the owner of a yogurt company that actually provides the first class yogurt. So fancy yogurt, okay? Fancy yogurt. He was chatting with this girl. He just said casually, oh, so by the way, what brand of yogurt do you have? And this girl, come on, she was tired. She just forgot the brand name. She just forgot in that moment. She forgot the brand name of the first class yogurt. And she said, okay, I don't remember, but let me go back and check for you and I'll get back to you. He was not happy with that answer. He was not happy. So he obviously complained to Emirates and said, look, your first class cabin crew, they don't know the names of your yogurt. Unacceptable. Calm down. And unfortunately, this girl, this cabin crew girl, this first class cabin crew girl, she had this manager who did not give a shit. Okay, she didn't. And she's like, okay, well, you don't know the name of your yogurt. You're fired. Bye. No excuses. None from me. Bye. Bye, Felicia. Bye. And she just fired her. And she was so proud when telling this story. It's like she did some huge, great thing. Firing a girl of 10 plus years working in this airline for a yogurt. Because that guy is some VIP, hi-fi, blah, blah, blah customer, you know. It's one of those top passengers that they really, 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 really value. One of them complains and you're gone. So yeah, this is how risky this field is. That's one of the reasons that I felt like I don't want to go back, because you need to always be tippy-toeing, walking on eggshells, like wondering what mistake might get you fired, or who else's mistake might get you fired. So is there job security in this field? No, there isn't, especially if you're planning on joining a Middle Eastern airline. There's just so many factors out there that are out of your control that can contribute to you losing your job. Sicknesses and injuries. Sicknesses and injuries are out of your control, but there's a very good possibility of you getting fired depending on your sickness and your injury. So there's just so many things that can work against you, ending up in you losing your job. And just a reminder that Middle East doesn't have unions. There's nobody to fight on behalf of you if they decide to fire you. They can just do it. Even the retirement for this job is the retirement age for cabin crew at Emirates Airlines is 50. Okay, I don't know about other airlines. Don't come at me asking about other airlines. I don't know. I'm talking about Emirates. And 50 isn't really... You still have a lot of living to do at 50. Come on, you need income for at least another 10 or 15 years. But here they are like retiring you at 50. Come on, you can't be retiring at 50 unless you're like a millionaire, which we're not. And here is the thing. Here's the tea. The retirement age for cabin crew at Emirates used to be 55. And then this happened about 3 or 4 years ago. So one day, suddenly, out of the blue, they changed their decision. They changed their decision and said, okay, the retirement age is not 55 anymore, it's 50 now. So all of you people that are at the 50th birthday, go home. Pack up and go home. Now, this was a huge disappointment to a lot of people. First of all, these people who are now at the age of 50, they joined in their 20s and they have literally built this airline for 25, 30 years. That's how old the airline was at that point, like 30 or something. So these are people that literally build the airline. that got told one day, alright then, you're 50, the new age is retirement age is 50, go home. I can't tell you how disappointing this was to not just the people that were at that age, but the crew in the entire company, because these are pursers now. These are old, nice pursers who've been here 25, 20 years. They're chilling, they're nice, they're cool, they're great to work with. There was a lot of Sri Lankan pursers because a lot of Sri Lankans joined at the very beginning of the airline. And they had no regard, they had no real sympathy. So just think, if they can do that to somebody that works 20, 25, 30 years in the airline, it's not a real big surprise that they fire somebody on probation or fire somebody like who worked 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 years. It's not a surprise. Just the other day, I saw a post about this purser, this lady. She said she turned 49 and they gave her the termination letter, like the retirement letter. They said, okay, you're 49 now.
All right, you're done. Pack up and go home.
She worked 21 years in the airline. And this is recent, guys. This is recent. This is not something that happened during COVID or whatever. This is now. This is right now. So you working there for 21 years, for 20 years, 25 years does not mean to them. It doesn't. It doesn't mean to them. Okay? I'm sorry, but that's the truth. The thing is, today, at this point, at Emirates Airline, the retirement age for cabin crew is 50. But tomorrow, they can change their rule and say, okay, now the new age is 45. We want all y'all to pack up your bags and go home. And they can absolutely do that. Like I said, there's no unions. Nobody to fight for you. They can change the rules again and again to fit their needs. They consider the whole image of the airline a lot. You know, they want the younger and fresher. That's why when you're getting a bit old, you'll be thrown out. And that's why they're very careful of not hiring people about 30-ish. Not Qatar though. I actually applaud Qatar. My image of them has changed a lot. They treat people, their own people well. Maybe, I think so. That's what I think. And again, those kind of things, you know, the whole 50, 55 retirement age, sudden change, blah, blah, blah. Those things doesn't happen in European airlines or American or North American, South American, Australian. Those things don't happen in those airlines, okay? Even in the majority of the Asian airlines, it doesn't happen. But Middle East, it's a whole little world of their own. It's a little world of their own. So they can change their rules whatever, however they like. You gotta be careful about that. So yeah, the cabin crew job is risky. You can't really build a long-term career in this field because there's so many things that are out of your control that can contribute to you losing your job. And depending on where you will come from in the world, chances are that once you lose your job or once you quit your job, you will never get back into that field again. This industry is hard to make a career out of, and that's something that I want you guys to realize. It's great to come and work in a Middle Eastern airline. It gives you a lot of benefits. It gives you a lot of range, a lot of options. They fly to so many more destinations than airlines in the other parts of the world. You'll be able to see so many more countries, but just be aware that with that benefit comes a great risk. There's always a great risk. The risk being you could easily lose your job. Now guys, don't be scared, okay? I'm not here trying to terrify you guys or make you guys scared from ever being a cabin crew. That's not what I'm trying to do. I enjoyed my years being cabin crew. I won't change that for anything. If you're somebody that wants to or hopes to become cabin crew in the future, I still recommend it. I definitely encourage it. But there are some things that you guys need to know before you get into this job. The reality is harsh. This is the ugly truth. And that's what I'm here trying to tell you. There's a lot more paths to come, and there's a lot more that I need to tell you guys. And at the very end, I'll tell you my biggest and best piece of advice. So that's why you guys need to stick with this video, this series. So that's it for today. I'm tired of talking. I hope you have a nice day, nice evening, whatever, nice morning. You might be just waking up. Who knows where you're from. Subscribe and like and share, okay? And I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.